Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Today we are taking a look at Charlie Woods, that is Tiger Woods' son's golf swing. We have some brand new footage from the PNC Championship happening at the moment. Some really good slow motion looks at Charlie's swing that we're going to be diving in and taking a look at. I actually made a video last year about Charlie's swing when the PNC was happening with some good slow motion looks. So if you want to see what Charlie Woods' swing did look like, I'm also going to be showing a little comparison again at the end of this video. So let's just dive straight in and take a look at Charlie Woods' swing. First of all, we're going to have a look at an iron swing from down the line. Now, there's a lot that's changed about Charlie Woods' swing, and I will be getting into that more at the end of this video. But first of all, this is a great look. If we take this, well, if we have a look at his setup, first of all, it's a perfect setup as you would expect. Everything is in check there. Posture is great. As we play this club back, and if we pause it kind of parallel to the ground here where you can see the club face, you can see he brings the club back. It's a pretty neutral, traditional takeaway. It's a one-piece motion. He's got a triangle between his arms and his shoulders, and the club face is square, matching his spine angle and pointed basically straight back. Club head just outside the hands, but, pretty similar to his dad in many ways. So as we start to play this back, and also if you notice, good hip and shoulder turn here, but as we take it to the top, he's going to start to bend. That right elbow is going to start to fold. Club works a little bit in behind him and then moves up, working a little bit on a flatter plane. And as we pause it at the top, if we pause it there, this is very, very different to what his swing was like last year. It's pretty amazing some of the changes that him and Tiger Woods and whoever else is involved in Charlie Woods' golf swing have made in the last year. We can see the club is much more on plane, pretty neutral, like at this point, club is on plane. Grip looks like maybe a degree strong in his left hand grip, but really not very much at all. Certainly not as much as it was last year, and we will be taking a look at that. Big shoulder turn, big hip turn, great width in the golf swing. Those hands just sit above the shoulder plane, slightly different to his dad in that respect. And by the way, guys, we do have some brand new videos of Tiger Woods' swing I will be doing probably in my next video pretty soon from the PNC as well. And if we look at that right arm, great, just creating so much width, 90-degree right elbow position there. And then as we start to play this swing down, he's going to drop it, shallow it a little bit. As he starts to rotate, he has a lot of rotation in his golf swing. Gets the arms and club much deeper as he comes down in this position. We can see the arms and club working deep, and he maintains that flexion in the wrist. And as we come down, look at this rotation, unwinding the body. We'll pause it here about where the club's about parallel to the ground again. Look how open his hips and shoulders are at this position. Obviously, he's a young kid, so he's only 12 years old, so he'll have huge amounts of kind of flexibility and athleticism in his body, great mobility as well. And we can see that right arm, that right elbow very, very tucked into his side there. And we can see the right heel coming up off the ground. As we play this down into impact, can't see where the ball is, but I think there is about impact. We can see again, hips and shoulders are fully open to the target now. The athleticism it would take for most of us to reach this position is just not possible. But great posture as well in this position. As we play this swing through, unwinds, now lets the arms extend, club exits left. Kind of reminds me of Morikawa a little bit in this position, actually. Very similar to Colin Morikawa through there, and then he unwinds that full balanced finish position. Let's play this back once or twice for you guys. Let's have another look at this. We'll just let it play a few times. There's a lot that's changed. I was really surprised when I saw this look at his golf swing. There's a lot that's changed in it. It looks like in this shot here, I would probably say he's hitting a cut by how he kind of comes across the ball and exits left. Maybe he's making that his stock shot. I would say last year, it was slightly difficult to tell, but he definitely hit quite a few draws last year at the PNC. So maybe he's trying to have a little bit more control over the ball, maybe a little bit, trying to hit more of a cut. But huge amounts of athleticism in this golf swing. Actually, to be honest with you, it's actually better than a lot of tour players' golf swings in some of the foundational elements. How much width he creates, the unwinding, the rotation of the body, exiting left, no real kind of, there's a little bit of flip and release in the hands, but it does happen after impact. So, you know, it's a pretty incredible golf swing, and a very, very different one to what we saw last year. Let's just take a look at one more video of Charlie from this year, and then we're going to take a look at what his swing looked like last year. And it is great, by the way. I'm so happy Tiger and Charlie are playing in the PNC Championship again. You know, I'm sure we were just making the end of 2021. Not been the greatest year for a lot of people, but, you know, it's definitely given us all something to look forward to. So here we actually have Tiger and Charlie set up, and we're going to kind of focus more on Charlie, but you guys can have a look at Tiger as well if you want to. Here it's set up. One of the things that has changed from last year, and I'll point this out more in a second, but his grip has dramatically changed. His left hand, and well, both his hands were very, very strong, which means they were kind of turned round to the right, kind of underneath the grip. He had a very, very strong grip. And that is changed. He has a much, much more neutral grip, it looks like, this year. There's a few other things that have changed as well. Last year, he had more shaft lean at address. Here you can see a bit more traditional, a bit more similar to how his dad does it. And if we start to play this back, you'll see Tiger move first, and Tiger moves with his hips first, and Charlie pretty much does the same. And Charlie keeps a very, very wide position. If we pause it parallel to the ground, we can see no wrist set to this position. We can see that triangle between the shoulders and arms. And as we play this to the top, again, the hips have turned early, and then they stop, and it allows the shoulders to turn and wind up, coil up into that top position. And as we have it paused at the top here, you can see big shoulder turn, big load into that right side. You can see a lot of weight kind of going into the inside of that right heel. Great width in the swing. That left arm is completely straight. You know, pretty much I would say looks like from here, it's a little bit difficult to see, but about a 90-degree hinge in that, in his wrist, which is, you know, textbook. It looks to me here like he's probably hitting some sort of long iron. It looks like maybe 5 iron, 6 iron, something like that, I would say. And then as we play this down, it starts to unwind. Look at this like squat down early. That's quite reminiscent of Tiger there, to be fair. Squats down early, and then now he starts to load and push back up off the ground. And if we pause this just before impact, look at how much kind of, I guess it's not really, it's kind of a bowing effect in that lead wrist. He has a lot of bowing effect, but basically what I mean is that club head is still miles behind the hand, has a huge amount of shaft lean. It's probably the better term I should use. Huge amount of shaft lean still to get rid of, and a bit of a much stronger club face, because he's stabilizing the club face with his rotation, his body rotation. And then as we play this through, but the body has also rotated and unwound, and now it's allowing the hands and arms to catch up. So as we play this through, you're going to see the hands and arms now extending through the ball, through the line, as he comes to that balanced finish. And again, I'll just play this through a few times for you guys. You guys can have a look at Tiger, have a look at Charlie. They have much more similar swings now than they did last year. There definitely is, you know, resemblance, as you'd kind of expect. They're both kind of twirling at the end of this. Yeah, there's more similarities this year, but also if you compared Charlie's golf swing to Tiger's golf swing when he was that age, there were more similarities. Tiger also had a much stronger grip, and I think, you know, the thing is, Tiger, I don't think is really trying to overcoach Charlie. I think Tiger just wants Charlie to enjoy the game, just kind of fall in love with it, kind of thing. And then once you have that passion, that love for it, you want to become better at it, and that's when you kind of think, okay, well, like, what do I want to do? What, you know, actually making swing changes. And now let's have a look at Charlie's golf swing from last year. I'll just take a look first of all from front on. And as we have it paused here, it's set up, you can see exactly what I meant with the grip. See how both of his hands are kind of turned to our left, to his right. They're kind of to the side of the grip. That means they're going to be really strong. Also, you can see that shaft lean. He's hitting driver here, but he's still got a lot of shaft lean, which you wouldn't traditionally have in a driver setup. Now, as we play this back, in this swing, he actually kind of has a lot of hinge early in the wrist, and then he kind of maintains this hinge. It's still a very, very good wide swing, and I love the way he coils with the body and loads into the ground. I mean, one thing he does incredibly well is how he uses his body to load into the ground, his lower body, his shoulder turn, all those sorts of things, does excellently well. You know, probably better than most PGA Tour players, to be honest with you, but he also has the youth and flexibility and mobility. So he loads up into that right side, and then as he swings down, unwinds, look at that pressure shift, real unwind of the hips and the body, and look how deep the arms go. They stay connected to the body all the way. If we pause this at impact, you can see hips are facing the target. Chest is very open as well, and the arms are still very, very connected to the body. And you can see again a lot of forward shaft lean, and also there's obviously that strong grip with his hands around to the right. And if we look at his lower body, look at his left foot almost up off the ground, which he still kind of does a little bit, but I mean, that's kind of, he's pushing up off the ground. That's how he's creating power. He hits the ball a long way for a young kid. And then as we play this through, now he lets the upper body and arms extend and unwind and comes through to that balanced finish. He looks a lot younger there. It's hard to believe it's only a year's past, but he looks a lot younger. Now we'll take a look at a driver swing from down the line from last year. And watch this. The setup, I wouldn't say huge amounts changed other than maybe the grip and the forward shaft lean. Other than that, in terms of his posture and everything, looks fairly similar. And then as we play this back, watch this. He takes the club very, very inside, brings it inside, the club face kind of opening up pretty quickly, works kind of the club shaft, kind of gets quite flat, almost reminds me a little bit of John Rahm a little bit here, in how the club shaft flattens out and then he kind of lifts it up. And then if we pause it at the top, we'll pause it here at the top, you can see what I mean by that strong grip. His left arm and wrist are in a pretty neutral position, no real bowing of the left wrist, but the club face is very, very strong with the club face pointing up towards the sky. And also if we look at his right arm, the right arm gets very deep, the right shoulder gets very internally rotated, and then on the way down he externally rotates it, which quite a lot of people do. Dustin Johnson kind of does a little bit similar, maybe not quite as much as that though, he gets it more laid off. And then, yeah, still big shoulder turn, big winding up. As we unwind this and play it down, you can see the club shaft shallows out. You can see exactly how much he unwinds the body so early, it's unbelievable. Like, if we pause this almost kind of parallel to the ground here, you can see how he gets the club just in behind his hands a little bit. Look, his body is already open to the target. I mean, that is just crazy, crazy amounts of flexibility and mobility. And then as we play this through, but see he's pushing up off the ground. And if we pause it at impact, again, you can see what I mean with the arms. That right shoulder is now externally rotated. And yeah, but just so unwound, stabilizing that strong club face with the rotation as he swings through. Now, there's no more rotation from here. He allows the arms and everything to catch up, and obviously his dad watching on here. I'll just play that through, and then I'll put it back to the other one, and I'll put them back to back. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Comment down below. I think it's amazing watching Charlie and Tiger play. It's so great to see Charlie playing. He is, he probably could go around in less than me around a golf course, even off the same tees. Seems like an unbelievable talent. If he wants to play professional golf, great. If he doesn't, great. He can do whatever he wants to do. Whatever he wants to do is cool. I think it would be amazing. Obviously, selfishly, from my point of view, I just love watching him and Tiger, on the golf course. It's great to see. It's great to see Tiger back. I've got some new videos of Tiger swing as well. I'll be doing another video as well, guys. But yeah, take a look at this back-to-back of Charlie. And from last year to this year, it is a huge change. Honestly, a really, really big change. Completely different golf swing. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So comment down below. Let me know what you think of the PNC Championship. It's one of my favorite events of the year. And make sure you do like this video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys soon. Make sure you are got those notifications on for when I drop that video of Tiger's up-to-date golf swing. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Stay safe, guys. See you soon.